Now, a few years back, I was reading a wonderful book by the great Derren Brown. I think it was his autobiography. Now, if you don't know who Derren Brown is, I'm sure if you're from the UK, you do know who he is. But outside the UK and further afield, he is a great mentalist. And there was a funny part in the book where he was talking about heading off to a meeting or an appointment, and he raced past this couple on the way out the door. And it was only when he raced past the couple he realised that his fly was hanging down and that his willy was hanging out. And he was just kind of, as he fixed himself up, thinking to himself, what will those people think of me? You know, they've only seen me for a split second and they're probably going to make a judgment on me of what I'm like, that I'm the typical person that just runs around with his fly hanging down and his willy hanging out. And sometimes when we're creating content, you know, sometimes we have that kind of same thought as well too, that sometimes we think that the tiny segment that we have put online is how people see us. You know, sometimes if we create a video and maybe it gets low views or it gets criticized or laughed at or whatever, we kind of believe, or we kind of take on the kind of thought that that is what we are like as a person. But really, that's only really a tiny segment of you as a person. You know, right now, in my 24 hours in today, this is only a tiny segment of what I'm like. This doesn't represent me at all. It only represents me right now. And you need to remember that the tiny segments that you put out on social media, whatever content that you create, that's not you as a whole. So if it is criticized or if it is laughed at or whatever, those people are just pointing the finger, making fun of that tiny segment of you. It's got no reflection on you as a whole. So bear that in mind. You know, you probably will get criticized, you may get fun of, whatever. But if you do, just remember, it's only a tiny segment of you. It's a kind of Polaroid of where you are right now. It doesn't mean that we know what you're going to be like next month, next year, a year from now. You know, we may be singing your praises. But don't tie yourself so closely to the tiny little segments you're posting right now that you take it to heart and give up. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.